All right, hey everybody, it's Joe from NC Piedmont Outdoors. What I've got for you here now is going to be part 2 of my Coleman 424 stove rebuild. So we've got it all painted in that John Deere greens. It's definitely lighter color than it was when I started it, but I think it looks pretty good. It reminds me of some of the older Coleman stoves that I grew up with hunting with my dad. So I've taken it all apart. I've spray painted these pieces. There's probably a few areas where I can do a little touch up later, but I'm going turkey hunting next week, or actually this week, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'm going to be using my Coleman stove, so I definitely have to get this put together and tested today to see if it works. So the only thing I didn't really do is touch the tank at all. So I didn't clean out the stem, I didn't paint it, I didn't do anything with the fuel tank this time. So I'm going to put this together and then do a test run and see if just cleaning out the burner piece, the burners did anything. If not, then I'm definitely going to have to do a cleaning on that stem in the fuel tank, and I might as well paint it as well if I'm going to do that. So, but at least I can put this back together, and then if I need to, I can focus on the tank. So let's go ahead and put this back together. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this inner plate. So again, as you can see, nicely painted, perfect. So I just got to slide this in, get it out of the way. And it lines up with these two, it lines up with 2 holes on each side that goes with these screws. I didn't paint the end of the screws, but I can touch that up later. I don't need to do that now. So I'm basically going to just take a Phillips head screwdriver and put these screws and get this plate secured into the stove base. So then once I do that, then we'll start adding back into the fuel, the burners and the burner pipes that go in there. So let me go ahead and get these screws and get that plate secured, and then we'll go ahead and attach the burner tubes. Alright, so again, just added these screws right here on the end, and again, I'll just touch those up with a little bit of the spray paint after I'm done here. I can just put some in a little container and just kind of do a little touch up, not a big issue there. There are some spots here where I see it's a little bit darker, probably need a second coat, but that's okay. Again, as I said, I can touch those up. So now we've got the plate secured, and again, you don't have to tighten these screws that hard. You just give them a little bit of half a turn to get them tight, and they're good to go. So now what we need to do is we need to get the burner installed. So you see here today, I did spray paint this with this high heat silver spray paint to kind of get that looking really nice. So I scrubbed this down, washed it real good, and then now, yeah, it looks amazing. It looks brand new. So we're going to go ahead and get this installed. So this has the 2 screws that go onto the bottom here, the caps. It's a 7/16. So I'm going to use a 7/16 ratchet on there to tighten that up, and then it's got a small screw right here in the back that goes into this hole back here in the back. So let's go ahead and just kind of loop this, and then we got this end goes right. Let me see if I can show you this. So this end goes right over here. So this has got to just be turned enough where it can slide into this little slit right here. And obviously this is the second burner. So let me go ahead and get this connected. And then once we get this in place, we'll go ahead and bring it back. And we'll put the actual burners on the tubes. Okay, so here's the little like nut washer thing, and this is going to go right into these screws, which is go to the bottom of the burner. So there's one for this side, one for that side. So I'm using a 7/16 ratchet with a little bit of an extender. I'm just going to pop that on there, and it should. And yeah, don't do that. Don't drop it in there like a fool, like I just did. So, yep. Actually, there we go. Let's make sure this gets on there, and then we can tighten it. So, whoops, there we go. It's not on there, and it's probably popping out from the bottom a little bit. Let's make sure we get that on there. Alright, let's see. There we go. And you don't have to make it that tight. Alright, so that's one on. Grab the one that fell out. Here you go. That's the one that fell out. So let's do the other side here. So again, we'll try the same thing. So make sure it gets set in there. Not do that. But let's see. Come on, I can do this. All right. I know what I'm doing, sort of. There we go. Down there. Come on. Alright, let's see. Maybe I'll lay it flat. Let's do that for a change. Let's see if I can get it right on there. I think that's it. Did we get it? Nope, not yet. No, there we go. Should be right like that. Let's see. Come on. Get on there. There we go. Okay, took a little finagling, but yeah, it's on there. So both that screws right in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, nice and tight. You don't have to go too tight, but it's on there. So now it has been secure. So good. So now we've got the burner tube in place as we want. So now we need to put on the burner. So let me just kind of show you real quick the burners and how we're gonna put these on here. So let me just show you that real quick. I'll go off to the side for a second. So this is the main burner. So the only difference between, I thought they were a little bit different sizes, but I'm not sure. I've seen that in other videos, but definitely have the burner. This one has this extra washer. So I'm going to put that right on top, and then of course it has the rings, and I put them all back, as I don't know if you can see that very good because of the lighting in here, but the rings, there's like a flat, and then there's the wavy one, so you got to put it in the right pattern, wavy on the bottom, and then you put this washer on top with the with this Phillips head screw, put that all together and put that in the burner. So that's what we're going to do right now. And then this one, obviously this is the secondary burner, but that doesn't have one of that extra washer for some reason, so whatever, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and put these on right now and get those installed, and then then we're going to put the lid on. So let's get these in, and we'll do that real quick, and we'll show you with a better view from the other side. Okay, here's the large bottom part of the burner there. Then we have a washer that kind of centered where it looks like it belongs. Alright, and then we're going to have our burners in the pattern, and I got that right on top. I'm going to do that right there, kind of line it up. Then I'm going to take the screw, I'm going to drop it right in the center. Then I'm going to take a Phillips head screwdriver and try to keep this as even as possible. You know, you don't want the sides sticking out, you don't want those little rings sticking out, you want it kind of as uniform as possible. And then we're just going to tighten this down, and I'm going to put my hands around it just so that we can, just put my hands around it so I can just keep the shape, make sure nothing gets warped out. And you don't really have to turn this too tight, so you don't need to like really crank it down. You just want it just secure. So let's see. Alright, I can feel it tightening. Okay, I just want to make sure it's uniform on all sides. So that's all I'm doing, is I'm just using my hands to make sure that none of the rings are popping out, or it's slipping, or it's more exposed on one side. So we'll just kind of tighten it down. A little half turn. That's it. Okay, that's tight. So that's on there. So that should work. Okay, now let's do the same thing. Let me turn the camera a little bit so you can see. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side here. So we're just going to, again, we have our plate. This one doesn't have a washer. We have all of our configured rings on the bottom. Again, there's the ripples one, then a flat, then a ripple, and a flat. So just kind of drop this right here. Try to keep it centered as best we can. And we'll find that center hole with the screw. Let's see, where is it? Alright, okay, so we gotta make sure this is secure. We'll go ahead and just make sure right before we tighten it, we're going to make sure it's nice and centered. A little bit more. I can feel it tightening down. Make sure it looks good. It looks like a little off on the side, so there we go. And we're just going to half turn, and that's tight. So that's perfect. So it looks good for me from right here. So burners should be down now, secured. They're not loose. The rings are good. We're all set. So now let's go ahead and add the lid and put that on.
All right, everybody, just a quick word from some of the supporters of the channel. First Slammer Series turkey calls. They're made by a hunter for hunters. If you're looking for a new turkey call, visit www.slammerseries.com. Also, Aqua Leisure Services, LLC, serving the Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and surrounding areas, meeting all your pool and spa needs. Signed Scientists, providing a broad range of services, including wall, murals, vehicle wraps, design, print, and marketing services. Regardless of your business requirements, their experts are up to the task. Visit www.signscientist.com or call 919-685-7641. Also, Tactical Creations. We're a small personalized business that's here to help you personalize items to make the gift that you give that much more special. Visit www.tacticalcreation.com or call 770-548-2691. If you're interested in purchasing any NC Piedmont Outdoors apparel or Slammer Series apparel, visit our Teespring site. The link is in the description box.
All right, so here's the lid. You can see I sprayed that up again, real nice. So now they just have these clips, and there's these little tabs that go in the corners. So we're just going to go ahead and try to set this on here and kind of do something like this. Down, get one side in, and once we have one side in, one side in, then the other side should be able just to snap in like that, and there we go. Okay, so the lid is set. So now you can I can pull you back, pull the camera a little bit there, and now, as you can see, the lid is secure. So these tabs are in these corner pieces right there. So now the lid is set. So let's go ahead and grab our clips. So these are the side pieces that allow the windshields to go into the holes on the side to block the wind. So we just need to add these back into here. So let me go ahead and put those on, and then yeah, we're almost done. So this is really great. So hang on, folks. We'll let me just add these in. You know, I think I can do it probably fairly easily. Let's see. I think it just snaps in. It goes up in here like this. Whoops. It should just snap in. Let's see. Alright, maybe this one goes on this one. Let's find out. Alright, well, let me go ahead and try to figure these out, and then we'll get back to you. Wow, so actually the hardest part of putting this back together was actually trying to get these stupid little clips into these windshields on the Coleman stove. What a pain in the butt that was. It was pretty embarrassing. It took me a bit to figure out how to get them clipped in there. So obviously, you know, they pop in the sides here and create that windscreen so when you're trying to cook, of course. And then we have our metal grate, again, to clean this as well. Slips into those two holes at the top, and there we go. So now we have the stove completely painted, clean the burners. I hope this helps with the issue that I was having in some of my videos if you watched. If not, we are going to have to take off that stem and kind of clean it. I think that's ultimately what's going to happen, but for right now, we need to get this thing lit and see if it burns without doing that all blowback and stuff, and maybe it doesn't light at all. I don't know, but let's go ahead and get it lit, and we can go from there. All right, I'm outside on my back porch. It's really windy, so I hope wind isn't too bad in the sound here. But I just ran this stove for about 10-15 minutes just to make sure it ran, and it ran perfectly. I didn't get any blowback, so I wonder if just cleaning those burners is what really needed to happen. And now it seems to be working really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it back on to kind of show you guys. And man, lit right up. And I did run it, so I know the flame is on. Woo, that's hot! So, I mean, you can't see that blue flame, and you can't see the yellow flame, but it's throwing out a lot of heat. It's running right now. I don't hear any pops. I don't hear any fluctuations in it. It's absolutely perfect. So, it looks like just cleaning out the burners was what needed to happen, so I don't need to clean this stem on the fuel canister, but I think I am going to. If you can see, there's definitely some rust around the edges here, so you know, since I cleaned the whole stove, it doesn't make much sense not to do the fuel tank. So I think I'm just going to tape up the label and tape up some of these caps in different pieces, and then just go ahead and spray paint this the same color as the burner tubes, and that way at least it all looks nice. It doesn't make sense to me to have to redo all this and then still have a tank that has some rust and some pieces on it. So let's try to preserve this tank a little bit longer. So well, anybody, again, this has been a really cool experience. I'm so glad I built it, and this is part 2 of my Coleman stove rebuild. But I also have another part. We're going to do something here additionally. It's kind of really neat. I'm looking forward to it. So as soon as I can get that done, we'll bring back and kind of show you that piece of it, and just kind of show you what I'm going to do there. So thanks everybody for watching. If you like what you see, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and help us grow the channel. We're up to 132 subscribers. Hopefully that wind isn't too bad right now. But thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate it. And you can see it's still going, no blowouts. So this definitely was a huge success for me. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll have another video for you soon. Thanks.
Thanks for watching NC Piedmont Outdoors, camping, fishing, and hunting adventures.